everybody, it's Sunday morning. Yeah, it's still Sunday morning. Okay. Doing a freeform Blockbuster Underground episode today. Just going to kind of wing it. No script, as usual. As you may or may not know, rough weekend. This is the 1 year anniversary of my mom passing away from COVID. And yesterday was the 2 year anniversary of us putting down our dog Chewy. So, not a great weekend. Kind of some raw memories regarding all of that. But either way, we're going to do a new episode of the show today. And as you notice, we've got some new equipment. Let me know how this improves the audio. Remember the last episode or two, audio was kind of a little bit scratchy and weird, so let me know if the mic helps. I think I've got it set up properly. My God, it took forever to figure out. But anyway, what's been happening lately? The Oscars, obviously. Oscars for me were like, it's weird. Oscars since the age of 5 have been kind of like a annual thing that we did. Growing up, me and Mom always used to get a big spread together, nachos, chip and dip, chocolate bars, the whole 9 yards. We'd do up our Oscar ballots and sit there, and it wouldn't matter if it was a school night. We'd stay up until the very last reward was put out. And I remember being 5 years old and just screaming at the TV when Star Wars lost. Oh my God. But the Oscars this year were fucking boring. What the heck? I mean, I get it. COVID. But, I mean, they were like, well, we didn't put clips in the show because they take up too much time. But then they started giving everybody, like, ad hoc, talk as long as you want when you win the award kind of thing for the better part of half the show. And then they realized, wait a minute, shit, we're going over on time now. So everybody stop talking so much. It was a friggin' wow. And then they rearranged the order of the awards, because traditionally Best Picture is the final award of the night. They switched it up this year because Chadwick Boseman was up for Best Actor for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. And what great movie. They were so convinced he was going to win that they moved Best Actor to the final award because they wanted to make this big hoopla thing out of it. And Anthony Hopkins won for The Father. And he wasn't even there because it was 4 a.m. He was in Wales. It was 4 o'clock in the morning his time. He's 83 years old. He was obviously fast asleep in bed, as most people would be, as I probably was by that point in the awards show. But yeah, so they moved everything around just on the whim, on the possibility that this could be like this glorious moment where, everybody rejoices. Chadwick was, it's tragic. I get it. Guy was way too young to pass, and he was just getting to, he blew up with Black Panther, obviously, but he was doing a lot of other really great stuff. And, what can you say? But yeah, so they mixed up the whole awards ceremony, procedure, and it backfired in their face. On top of that, the gift bag they give to all the attendees, which usually has fucking 30 grand worth of shit in it. There's spa tickets, plane tickets, concert tickets, all sorts of crazy shit. This year they included a USB drive, apparently, that had an artist's digital rendering of Chadwick Boseman's face in a kind of a Roman mask, sort of bronzed shield thing. And it's obvious he took the inspiration from a picture of him from Black Panther, because he had the full beard and goatee and everything going on. And it's like, you put that in the gift bag? Wow. I don't know. Nomadland won Best Picture, which is going to bode very well for The Eternals, which is directed by Chloe Zhao, who also won for Best Director. Nomadland I have not seen. It's on the Disney app. I see it every time I log on. Now, trending, whatever. I'll get to it eventually. I really didn't watch many of the Best Picture nominees this year. I skimmed. I think I watched most of Ma Rainey. I don't even remember what was nominated. Christ, it's that bad. But it's been a weird year. The last movie I saw in theaters is still Rise of Skywalker. and that is now December 2019. Yikes. I mean, I don't know. They're saying with the vaccine rollout, everyone's going to be back to normal by the summertime, but we'll see. Um, on other news, movie-wise, I saw Mortal Kombat. I enjoyed it. It was actually a really entertaining movie. My only gripe, as is usually the case with these films, is why did they show me all the cool shit in the trailers and the pre-release clips? Like, wow, like everything. It's like the Ant-Man and the Wasp movie again, like that whole fight scene in the kitchen. They showed all that in the trailer, so when it happened in the movie, I was like, cool, saw it already, cool. Like Scorpion versus Sub-Zero, they should have kept wraps on that so hard, but nope. The whole thing with the blood coming out, and he freezes it and stabs him with it. Saw all that. It was cool. Don't get me wrong, but like, and the other problem with the movie was there's really no story. It's supposed to be like the original one was like, you know, we're gonna get all these guys together and they're gonna fight against each other in a big tournament. We never even really got to the tournament in this one. They're really hedging their bets on a sequel. I mean, and spoilers, the Johnny Cage drop at the end with the poster, like, come on, they've got to do a part 2 now, because you can't just show us that and be like, oh, psych. But yeah, I mean, I would have preferred a lot less Louis Tan and a lot more Hiroyuki Sanada than we got. Louis Tan, I mean, I read this article where he was like, oh, I lost out on Shang-Chi. I'm like, yeah, it's because you're not a very good actor, dude. Like, I don't know, underwritten role. I mean, none of the roles were really well written. You don't go to a movie like this for the script, quite honestly. I mean, who cares what they're saying? Just show me somebody getting carved in half, or have their head ripped off, or their heart ripped out, or some crazy Mortal Kombat-y shit. Like, with Kong versus Godzilla, we're not going there for, like, deep story and, you know, significant moral dilemma kind of thing. We want to see a big monkey kick the shit out of a lizard. Easy. So, in that respect, this movie did what it set out to do. It was some good, really good gore. I can't believe the budget was only $50 million. Like, holy shoestring. Like, not the effects were pretty good for a $50 million budget. I mean, obviously they didn't pay it on acting or script. But I mean, like I said, it's a Mortal Kombat movie. What do you need? So, overall, not bad. I'll buy it on Blu-ray when it comes out. And, yeah, I mean, it set it up for the sequel, basically, is what it is. And they already said at the end of the movie, you know, nobody's dead already. Like, everybody on the bad guy's side got wiped out, obviously. Spoiler, sorry. Really cool fatalities, though. Kung Lao's is still the best, when he just saws that chick in half. Fucking amazing. But, and then he gets his soul sucked out. But even the actor was like, Max Huang, and he was like, I might be back. Who says? Joe Taslim from The Raid is teasing Noob Saibot for the sequel, which would be a cool progression of the Sub-Zero character. So, yeah, I mean, it's totally set up for a sequel. I mean, there's fucking this. I mean, I've got Mortal Kombat XL on the Xbox, and I mean, I can remember as far back as, like, you know, living in Montreal, going to like Dawson in like the early 90s, going to the arcade in the Lexus Neon Plaza and playing fucking Mortal Kombat. Like, it's been around for, and they didn't do a shitty job with the movie, which I'm glad of. I mean, it could have been really shoestring fucking hokey bullshit, but we'll see what happens with the sequel. I'm curious to see. The movie's made money too, so it has to get a sequel, one way or another. And if they can do it on a low budget like that, bring it on. Even if it is straight to streaming, who cares? It did go in theaters, so it does. I think it made $50 million opening weekend, so good money for a movie like that. So yeah, we'll probably see a sequel. What else? Falcon and the Winter Soldier finale was really good. Sam finally taking on the mantle of Captain America and getting a dope ass costume to boot, wings and all. The Hot Toys figure obviously just got announced online, and it's like, I don't know, it's 32-inch wingspan. I don't have room for that. But, yeah, it was a really good finale. Next one up is going to be Loki on June 11th. we don't get any Marvel stuff for this month. There is actually, I saw it yesterday. They dropped a 1 hour, it's an hour and change, making of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, behind the scenes thing, which is really kind of cool. There was some neat stuff they showed, like with the little CGI tweaks they did with the costume. Like Anthony Mackie's like, it's seams and zippers everywhere, and they literally went in with like CGI out the seam of the costume, and like when he turned his head and the material would like kink out like this sort of thing, they'd like go in and CGI it so it looks like it's like snug right to his face the entire time. Really cool stuff. Like the truck fight was in pretty much all CGI, including where they were. There was one shot apparently where John Walker gets knocked off the truck, and they were filming that in Atlanta, and the next scene where he lands and looks up was shot in Prague. But then they digitally redid the background in both shots to make it look like they were in Germany. Really weird, but great making of. Some good behind the scenes footage. Good interviews with all the cast members. They covered basically everything. The Dora Milaje, Zemo, Sharon, Flag Smashers, the whole 9 yards. Definitely worth a watch, especially if you dug the 6-episode run of the actual show. What else has been going on? MLB 21, the show, free to play on Xbox Game Pass if you've got the subscription there. I'm digging it. I have no idea what I'm doing in most games, but I'm now 3-0 with using the Cleveland Indians, and it's fun. It's been about 8 years since we got a good sim on the Xbox for a baseball. I think 2K13 was the last one that came out, and I remember that one was buggy as hell. So good on Sony for letting Xbox play with their toys too, and definitely worth checking out if you've got Game Pass. Free download. Pretty fun game. Can't go wrong with baseball. Season starting and all that. So other than that, I need to figure out what to put in the spaces back there. I'm thinking the Hoth stuff beneath the Death Star. Still in the process of fixing up the office. Hot toys are all over in the TV area now, down the way there. So new display there, and all the office. The cave is coming together slowly but surely. It has been a long slog, but we're nearing the finish line, and it's looking fucking awesome. Thinking about still getting an arcade cabinet. Probably the Mortal Kombat one, because honestly playing Mortal Kombat on the Xbox with the controller just isn't the same. Trying to pull off the fatalities is near impossible. But I'm thinking maybe arcade cabinet for down that midway point as you walk in, where the entranceway is. And then obviously we're getting the new TV and surround sound at some point down the road someday. And maybe even a new Xbox if I ever find one. So let's see, 15-minute show. I think that's about all the babbling I needed to do for this week. Just thinking if there's anything else off the top of my head. Flash movie just started shooting. There was a set photo of the old Wayne Manor from the 1989 Tim Burton Batman where they are filming right now. So Michael Keaton is confirmed coming back as the Dark Knight. Whether we'll see him in the cowl, I don't know about that, but Affleck as well. And then we've got the new girl playing Supergirl, and Ezra Miller coming back as Flash. No Cyborg, because I think Ray Fisher kind of burned all his bridges with the whole Warner Brothers thing. So no Cyborg as of yet, but looking to be a pretty good movie. It's Andy Muschietti, who did the It movies, is directing. So I've got hope that it's going to be a decent run. They've been fucking talking about filming this Flash movie for long enough. It's about time they finally got going on it. So we'll see what happens there. Last I saw was the Snyder Cut's coming out on Blu-ray May 25th, and that'll be a day one purchase most likely. I'm working on getting a Hot Toys Captain America Endgame figure, which if that pans out, I will have a review of. Not sure when it's coming out. Last I talked to the store, they said May, possibly June kind of time frame, because obviously all the shipping, everything has gotten all fucked up. So Yeah, well, it'll be interesting. I'll play that one by ear, but that's the basic plan of action moving forward, at least for right now. So let's see. May the 4th is coming up, so I'll probably have some Star Wars news to talk about next episode, which will probably be this week ish. You know me. In the meantime, I'm going to get cracking on getting the shelves back here all set up. I got to dig out all the figurines for the Death Star back there. And I'll probably do the Hoth display on the second shelf down across from the Falcon. That's eventually going to be the Razor Crest when that releases, which will be October, I believe, this year. But for right now, I got to figure out something. I think I might put the freezing chamber in there somewhere too. Get that all set up finally, because that's a big beast of a fucking playset. I'm almost glad I didn't get two of them because I wouldn't have room. It's literally that big. But yeah, so yeah, I think that pretty much wraps it up for today. If I come up with anything incredibly newsworthy, I might post another video earlier than I'm off Friday, Saturday. So usually Friday or Saturday. This weekend's a one-off because I took a vacation day for today. Otherwise, I'd be on that computer taking phone calls right now. Not today. I wasn't in the mood. Sorry. So yeah. In the meantime, like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends about the channel, and you know what? I promised when I started this new title to the show that I was actually going to tell some stories about Blockbuster Video. So, 15 minutes. Yeah, let's wrap it up here with a story about the Florida store. St. Pete's, Florida, circa, when did I get hired there? March 1999. First movie on the shelf the week I got hired was Lake Placid. There's a deep cut for you. So, worked there solid through till about October 2000, at which point I got fired for being Canadian and not having the green card. That's another story for another day. I'm not going to get into that one. But one of the cool things with that store, one of the things that I always got a kick out of, even though I'm not a big fan of the sport, but one of my regulars at the Blockbuster store in Florida was Macho Man Randy Savage. And he would come in every week, like clockwork. You'd see him pull up. He drove a Hummer back then. And I don't think his wife ever came with him. I think it was his sister. But they would come in, walk around, grab a couple movies, some chips, that kind of thing. Super nice guy. Like, so nice. Cracked me up, though, because he looked just like he does in the ring. I mean, obviously, I'm not a fan of wrestling, but I've seen, video footage of, obviously. I mean, he was in Spider-Man 1 in 2002, which was before this, actually. Which was after this, actually. Because this was, 99, 2000. But he came into the store one day, and he always wore the same kind of outfit, the wife beater shirt. He had the hair all slicked back and stuff. Short guy, too. Not tall at all. I looked him up on Wikipedia. They were like, oh yeah, his height's like 6'2". I'm like, no, it's not. Maybe with lifts. But I'm sitting there one day at the counter just chilling, waiting for something to happen. He walks up. I'm like, hey, what's up, man? Looks at me and goes, have you got fried green tomatoes? I was like, fried green tomatoes? What? Of all the movies in this store, what? Okay. It's in the drama section. And there's 2 copies out there. All right, thanks, man. Unbelievable. And it used to make me laugh, too, because people would come in and they're like, oh, is that Macho Man Randy Savage? I'm like, yeah, I see him once a week. And they're just freaking out. But, yeah, nicest guy in the world. Passed, I think it was 2011. He was driving on the 275 interstate, and his car went off the road into a grove of palm trees, dead on impact. Turns out he had a massive coronary while he was driving, and rest in peace. Nice guy. I will always remember that fried green tomato story till the day I'm gone. yeah, so there's a Blockbuster story for y'all. I will dig up some more for down the road at some point, as long as they're, you know, appropriate. Like I said when I started the Blockbuster Underground thing, I'm not going to tell any stories that are like derogatory or, you know, don't want them to be taken the wrong way kind of thing. So it's going to be hit and miss as to which stories actually get told. Those who know the stories, like August story, know exactly what I'm talking about, and we don't need to recap them here. So yeah, let me wrap it up for today then. Next episode, probably like I said this week after Force Friday, May the 4th. And I'm going to try to get to round to watching the Best Picture nominees, even Nomadland. Yeah, it's going to be, I don't know, I'll try. I've heard it's really good. I mean, don't get me wrong, but it's just movies like that are kind of, you know, with everything that's been going on, I want to watch something that's going to be a little bit more uplifting and, you know, cheerful than someone walking around and living like a nomad. But we'll see. Like I said, it bodes really well for Chloe Zhao and the Eternals movie, which she directed, which is coming out in November from Marvel. So, I mean, God, imagine the Eternals in Nomadland. Everybody poops in a bucket. We'll see. Anyway, let me get this wrapped up. Let me get this uploaded. Like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, and we'll catch you at the next episode of Blockbuster Underground. Cheers.